Okay, welcome, 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 everybody. I am so excited to be the one to host this call tonight. My name is Shauna Mucklow from Nebraska. And when we talk about brain health, let me just be quite honest with you. I'm 41 today. When I was 35, I felt like I had mom brain. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Mom brain, mush brain, whatever you want to say. And honestly, thinking back, I thought it was normal. I thought because I was a busy mom of two and I owned a business with 36, employees across the country, that's just how I was supposed to feel because I was tired all the time. Like I would sit down on the couch and I would just fall asleep. Or I just didn't have the stamina or mental capacity to even think anymore. Like that's how it was. So that's what I called mom brain. Like everything was a little foggy. However, I'm so thankful that as I am 41, I feel sharper in my brain than I've ever felt. And I am so, so thankful for that. And tonight we are going to talk about brain health and all things brain health, how we can optimize it, how Heidi has an absolutely fabulous story that she is about to share with you about her family. And I cannot wait for you to hear it. This is my dear friend, Heidi, who inspires me every single day with her passion for health, her passion for others, and how she has an absolute goal to help her family live their healthiest life. So Heidi, will you please share your story with all of us?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. You guys, it is such an honor for me to share even just a little snippet of our family story, and in particular of our son. I have three boys. My husband and I have three young men. I shouldn't say they're boys. They are 16, 18, and almost 21 now, which is wild. But our oldest boy, young man, has always struggled with some stuff. And being the oldest, we didn't have anything to compare that to. So, there were moments when he was a toddler that I thought, I feel like something's not there. But he was brilliant. He had a photographic memory. He talked early. He could read very early on. And so I just kind of let those things go. But there was just that question in me, how moms just kind of have that gut instinct about things sometimes. But when he got into preschool, we really started to notice that he struggled with some things that his peers were not struggling with. Things like proper conversation with a peer. The eye contact was not exactly what you would expect of his age. His focus in school, and this all continued as he went throughout, the next few years of school. His focus wasn't quite there. Retention of concrete things like math was very hard, even though he could do some of the other stuff extremely well. His handwriting was something that was always very noticeable. It was large and messy and all over the page and smushed together. There was no breaks between words, so it wasn't legible at all. So we just felt like there was a disconnect there, right? There was so much brilliance in his head, and he just struggled to get it out, whether it be out in conversation or out on paper. And so we did all the things, just like you do as a parent. You want to help them. And so we did therapies, and we did school accommodations, and we saw specialists, and we used all these different tools and resources, and they helped some, but not to a point that we felt like he wasn't able to be fully himself. So I started, when he was in second grade, I started studying food and nutrition and how that impacts brain performance. And we saw, and it was, this has been quite a while ago, so it was still kind of a new idea. But some of the changes that I made in his diet made a really good difference, made more progress. But still, to come back to that gut feeling, that mom sense that we have, I knew there was something deeper that I wasn't getting to yet with his food, because he was still struggling with some of those things quite a bit. I just knew there had to be more. So through my studying just to help him, I kind of fell in love with nutrition. And I've always been a helper. And I thought maybe that's, I can go back to school. I can learn nutrition, help him more, and maybe help other people. After we graduated, I had a friend who reached out to me from school, and she said, you need to look at this. This might be what, she knew our whole story. She said, this might be what you need for your boy. And knowing what I knew of nutrition and how the body worked, I thought, okay, this might be it. This might be that gut thing that I've been looking for. So we started him with activating his NRF2 and a brain performance drink. And I tell you, as a parent, you pick up on very subtle things pretty quickly. And within a couple of days, we started noticing just little improvements in him that other people might not quite pick up on. And within a few weeks, we started getting phone calls from the school or talking to the teacher in the hallway if I happened to be down there. Things like making more eye contact. He would come home and he would not only remember that he had homework, but he would sit down at the table and do it unprompted, unassisted, just get it all done. In class, he was staying on task. His teachers said he was way more focused. He was interacting and participating in the lessons and contributing to them, which never would happen before. And a huge thing, being able to explain his frustration. I said I felt like there was a disconnect. It was like there was a fire in his brain and he had all this stuff in there, but he just didn't know how to calm it all and express that to us. And he was able to do that now. Asking questions and conversations. I mean, it just really started blossoming and being who we knew he was, and he wasn't trapped anymore. The biggest thing for me that I videoed it, I had tears in my eyes. He came home one day and he said, Mom, he's super into military airplanes, especially. He says, I'm going to make a list in order from best to worst of all World War II airplanes. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. He got a 5x7 card, lined card, and he wrote all of those planes on there. Tiny little print, spaced perfectly. You could totally read it. And he was so focused on that list. And I was like, I mean, I had been sold before, but that really sold me there. He just is in such a better place. He's able to be himself. He's in a better mood. The school became the best part of his day, which it was always a struggle before. And we'd sit down at dinner and we'd ask, what was the best part of your day? And his was, it used to be coming home from school, or right now because I'm eating dinner or something like that. But it turned into everyday school. School was the best part of my day. And, I just can't, I can't express enough how much that means as a parent to see your child be comfortable in their own skin and to be able to express themselves and to be able to participate in the world without feeling like you're stuck, So thank you so much, Shauna, for letting me share a little snippet, a little picture of our family. But I'm more than happy to, answer questions. If anybody has any questions, they can reach out to me separately. I'd be more than happy to share more.
Thank you so much, Heidi. I can hear it in your heart when your voice cracks about how what that used to feel like and what it feels like today. Guys, I want everybody to think about that for a second. Who do you know, right, that struggles in that way, that feels like maybe that they just need to unlock, right? They just need to unlock what's in there. And what you hear tonight could probably be a real great solution for them. And I want you to think about that, because that's why we do this. That's why we educate on this topic, because there are answers. And I am super excited to introduce Kelly tonight. So Kelly Lepshaw is a physical therapist who specializes in neurological disorders. So obviously cognitive health is her jam. She has many passions for sure when it comes to natural health, but she uses integrative medicine, obviously, to help all of her patients. And I am so excited to listen to you tonight, Kelly. Could you first tell us just a little bit about your background and who you are? Could you tell everybody that?
Absolutely, you guys. Well, welcome. I'm so happy to be here. And first and foremost, I hope you guys can all see that Heidi, Shauna, and myself are all having so much fun, because health can be a heavy topic and a detailed topic. And I want you guys to know that, health is a gift, right? And we can choose to have health or not. But part of it is this happy, joyous, gratitude, grateful. I'm so happy to be here to be able to help you guys in your health journey, your family's health journey, or in somebody else that you know. And so free yourself tonight. That it doesn't need to be heavy. And I'm not going to get into super science, but know that it is truly the most amazing feeling ever, as Heidi just shared about her family, to be healthy and well. So Shauna, thank you for having me. And yes, so I'm a physical therapist by background. My husband and I actually both for over 25 years, and we've specialized in brain disorders, and specifically stroke, traumatic brain injury, concussion, other neurological disorders that some of our patients are extremely severely involved, and other people are very mildly involved, but they know something's been amiss in their life. And we've always, as a physical therapist, looked at it from a very holistic approach for years. But really, when the whole trend of root cause, functional medicine, integrative medicine started coming down the line, we realized that a lot of the traditional medical people and staff and referral sources that we were used to partnering with weren't always on that page or that trajectory. So we needed to take it into our own hands for our own family, in which we have 4 kids that are 16, 19, 19, and 23, busy household, all have a little bit of issues of health, because I think we all probably do. But we said, you know what, let's start first and foremost with helping our own family, and let's help then our community. Let's help our patients. And how can we serve more? Because if we're not learning, right, they say that we're dying. So we can be on the trend of what's out there, what's new, what's possible. And we now know it is more possible than ever that we are in control of how our genes are being expressed. So we don't have to leave it up to chance to be sick, you guys. And that's what's really driven me in this whole field of nutrigenomics, as I've seen firsthand experience in my own family and thousands of people that I've been able to help. And so, Shauna, I'm just super glad that I'm here to share a little bit of my wisdom.
Well, I'm super glad that there are people, really, really knowledgeable people out there that are willing to share their wisdom with all of us. And guys, for free, let's be honest, right? For free, that's pretty special. I don't know if any of you feel this way, but I feel like I needed to squash some generational curses. I did not grow up knowing anything about nutrition, knowing anything about how to be proactive in my health, honestly, right? It was just live your life and hope for the best. That was kind of how I was raised. And I am ready to be proactive in my health and help other people, especially give my kids the tools that they need and their kids the tools that they need to just do a little bit better, right? Be proactive. So Kelly, thank you. Next, will you explain to all of us a little bit why maybe many people are seeing cognitive decline at a younger age, like me when I was 35? Why did I feel this mom brain? Why is this happening to our kids?
Absolutely, you guys. And here's the really big picture is if you macro level, right? Everyone out there is, if you look at the world that we're all living in today, is you'd think with technology and science and medicine, we should be so far advanced. We are, except for the fact some of these advancements have unfortunately led us to a more convenient lifestyle. And this more convenient lifestyle has led people to a more sedentary lifestyle, an on-the-go eating fast food lifestyle, which of course leads to poor not nutrient dense foods, right? A lot of trans fats, everything. A friend was just saying that they'd been international and they couldn't believe when they came back how everything here tasted so sweet. So how sugar filled our environment is. And even our fruits and vegetables aren't as nutrient dense as they once were. I mean, I could go into the soils and everything that's happening, but honestly, it is really the truth, whether it's pollution, whether it's chemicals, whether it's toxins, whether it's mold, whether it's our stressful lifestyle and poor sleep, because in sleep is where we repair and we heal. So we're not sleeping well, hence mom brain fog, right? What new mom sleeps well? None of us. But we're kind of bombarded with even the air, the water. It isn't today what it was 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, and beyond. So even though technology may be further along in health and medicine, the world we're living in today is actually fighting against our health, which seems so crazy, but it's really the truth. And so if you think about, any of your friends or family that you probably know somebody who's in their 30s and 40s who's already not well. Maybe it's autoimmune. Maybe it's been chronic headaches. Maybe it's been lupus. Maybe it's been cancer. Maybe it's just been like they're not well. They always feel like they can't attend things because they just don't feel well. So why is the question, right? And that's really what Shauna was asking, is why earlier today are we probably feeling younger or older? And this cognitive decline is due to all of these stressors. And if you like, stack them all up, it's not one, it's not two, it's not three, it's this combination of stressors on top of probably the most stressful time in history that we're in at the moment. And so no wonder why most people don't feel well. And I think the biggest aha moment, Shauna, that people are finding, and you guys probably are seeing out there, is when somebody finally gets a diagnosis of anything, it's too late, meaning they're so sick that disease process has really gotten into their bodies. And really what shows up is what we've been doing to ourselves 20, 30, and even 40 years earlier. So when we talk about early cognitive decline, that is what people are seeing. But this is the big message, you guys, is just because a lot of people have it and you think it's normal, no, it may be common. It is not normal. And that's what you guys need to be like, wait, I need to shake the red flag. I need to get answers. It may be common. It is not normal if you want to look to a full, healthy life as you're aging or your family and friends are aging.
Okay, so basically, let me just tie that up. Did I understand correctly? Everything in the world, basically everything we're doing just by living, even breathing the air, you said, water we drink, like all this stuff is wreaking havoc on our body, and our body just isn't prepared to deal with all of that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Exactly.
So what would you say is the root cause? Like if you had to say, like, all of that combined, what is the root cause that's really causing the brain fog, the fatigue, the focus issues, right? All of that stuff.
So when you think about it, you guys, our bodies ultimately are supposed to work in balance and flow. And when we get out of balance, everything gets mucked up. Nothing works very well. You see that in your checkbook when it's not balanced. You see that in your family when things dynamic, right, is out of balance. It doesn't work well. Well, that's what's happening in every single cell of your body. So things are out of balance. They don't work well. The number one true reason, which I could ask probably every single one of you on tonight, what do you think is the big baddie? What do you think is the root cause of all diseases out there? At least as today is the talk of the town. I have a feeling at least 90% of you guys would answer inflammation, right? Inflammation. It is absolutely wreaking havoc in every aspect of our life. And this is, Shauna, what I would love to say to everybody is, do we all know that we should eat right? Yes, right? You guys are all nodding, but does everybody? No, we're still eating gluten and dairy and too much sugar and too much processed fats and all of that stuff. It's to be honest, right? So we all know we could get better. We all know we should exercise, move our bodies. Our bodies are meant to move, flow, stretch, get up. But do we all? No. We know today sleep is essential, but do we all have the best sleep practices? Probably no. We all actually know today through so much science, we all need actually this rest time, this downtime, allowing our body to just de-stress, unwind. And if you want to say you're doing your meditation, your mindfulness practice, your gratitude journal, you pick what it is in your life. You go for a walk in nature. But do we all always do it? No. So one simple thing that now science has found, and this is exactly what Heidi was sharing, is her son started being activated by NRF2. We have pathways in the body that help regulate our gene expression. So all of us have a blueprint of our genes, right? No matter all of us, all a little bit differently. But in that, the goal of our genes is to keep our good genes up, revving well, and our bad genes down. We do not want our bad genes expressed. You guys don't want to know my bad genes. I actually have a lot of them, so I need to keep them definitely suppressed. So if you could just activate that pathway that's in every single one of us, it's actually in every single mammal. So whether it's your little doggies, whether it's horses, every one of us, if you could flip the switch and turn that on, which is what happens with NRF2 activation, that is going to start tuning, like you're going to tune a piano. It's going to start tuning your genes so the good genes stay up and the bad genes stay down. Just like when you go to tune that piano, the keys that are sharp, you want to turn down, and the keys that are flat, you got to raise up. That's exactly what happens. So you think, is it really that simple? It is that simple, but our bodies are built and designed to do that. But our environment is not allowing us to function optimally like we should. So honestly, that's what we're talking about today, is optimizing our genes and our health and our wellness, suppressing that inflammation in all of us to truly feel better. It's really that simple. And that's what I love for everybody that's on here tonight. You know, you might be a stay-at-home mom, you might be an attorney, you might be a school teacher, you might be in medicine, you might be a stockbroker. I don't know what you do, but granted, I think we'd all agree that we need our health. So is there a magic bullet? No. But is there something that now today we know, that number one thing of decreasing that inflammation and regulating our genes? Yes. And everybody can just share that gift of health, of activating that NRF2 pathway.
I love it. Okay, so this was an aha moment for me, guys, when I learned this. So how I learned about NRF2 activation is my general practitioner actually called me up and shared about it with me and said, you have to learn about this. We feel like this is the future of medicine and healing and health and all of it. And it's because she told me, when you said inflammation, she said, if you ask any physician, they will tell you the root of all evil when it comes to health is inflammation. And then it was my start of my journey of learning, right? And I've been blown away. So Kelly, you said this isn't just a one-shot approach, right? This isn't just to activate your NRF2 pathway. This is really about all of it, right? If you truly want to help your brain, what I'm hearing is we need to eat right. We need to get our bodies moving. We need to meditate, like get to our happy places, but also it's really, those things may not be enough anymore. And we really, really need to get into our cells and activate our NRF2 pathway. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And because life's on us, right? All of those good things we're supposed to do, we know we don't always do them. But if you can every single day decrease that inflammation, regulate your genes by that NRF2 pathway. And I will tell you that, you know, for all of us out there, people are starting to be savvy and understand this inflammation. And people are starting to say like, oh, I take turmeric. Oh, I take sulforaphane. Oh, I take other antioxidants. And let me just tell you guys is, that's great. And that's where we've been, honestly, for 50 years is antioxidants. Okay. And to now, like you go to the grocery store and things say, and fortified with antioxidants, right? It's kind of funny. But this is the big picture, kind of, Shauna, where we started is, we don't have a few cells of inflammation. We don't have a few cells of oxidative stress. Because of everything our world is in, our cells have trillions of free radicals. Just call them bad guys. Think about an army of bad guys, right? An army of aging cells, to be honest. We have trillions. So if we think we're going to go down the antioxidant route and just take our, curcumin, take our green drinks, eat our broccoli and cauliflower, and then that's going to do it, you guys, that's a really small army to fight off these trillions of free radicals we have. It is not going to work. I'm not saying don't do it, don't eat well, like that's a given. But what I'm telling you is you need a more powerful army. And the more powerful army is turning on that NRF2 pathway, which then can fight your bad guys at a ratio of 1,000,000 to 1 per second, every second. And that's researched and verified and legit. And all you have to do is swallow this little pill every day, or crush it and stick it in applesauce for your kid, or put it in a smoothie. That's all you have to do to literally start changing your health. And I think if you're healthier, you want your family to be healthier, and then you want the people around you to be healthier. So do you need it? Yes. Do the people around you need it? Yes. Is there anybody that doesn't need it? No. So this is kind of the best kept secret, but honestly, it is the number one thing that we could do today for our health, Shauna, really.
I love that. That's probably why, thinking back to Heidi's story, like her son, right? They were doing all these things, and a little bit was working, but then all of a sudden they unleashed an army, right? In his body, and he was able to combat all the bad guys. And so therefore he was just able to unlock his brain and start thinking properly. I love that analogy. So last question for you, Kelly, then we will stop taking up your time tonight. But tell me just maybe a couple of your favorite things that you have seen, maybe from patients or someone that you have helped, you've really seen their brain kind of turn on using NRF2 activation as part of their regimen?
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, everybody, this is not woo-woo. This is not some crazy something. Those of you that are medical can certainly go do all of your research and go to pubmed.gov and find over 30 plus studies, clinical peer-reviewed published studies on this. And honestly, being a medical professional, that sold my husband and I. It also sold my husband and I that the fact is this is a publicly traded company. So this isn't some mom and pop company that are just trying to make this thing and health is a trend and let's just throw this thing to the wind. I really want to relieve all of you out there that this is not that. So if any of you are like, I don't know, my friend invited me to this thing tonight, what am I even watching? I just want you to say, okay, get rid of all of that, because we are bombarded with gimmicky and supplements and the thing and the fad. I get that. But today really is talking about science. And so with that, when anything is all natural, what I also want to share is every body is going to do something different according to what your body needs. So I do not say, Shauna doesn't say, Heidi doesn't say, the company doesn't say that this treats, cures, prevents, mitigates any disease or disease process. It simply allows the cells in your body to get back into balance and heal and repair and do the job it's intended to do. Truly. Okay. But a few things to answer your question, Shauna, that I've seen is, I've seen some, I'll just say, right, women who have complained, oh my God, I don't feel great. I'm kind of having migraines. I'm not sleeping well. And what does their doctor tell them? Well, your blood work works fine. You're just getting older. What do you expect? You guys, that's not what we should expect. You might need to change doctors. No. But here's the real thing. By them activating their body with NRF2 activation, their sleeping patterns were better. Then you can get into better sleep. You can heal and repair. You have more energy throughout the day. People's migraines have started to diminish or go away. And I will speak the fact of even some stories like Heidi was sharing about her family. My family is, my youngest daughter had migraines and we didn't even know what they were because they were presenting like massive seizures. And she would end up in the hospital because all of that happened before a headache would come on. Then we realized after several tests and in the hospital several times that actually she was having migraines. And as soon as we got her activated with NRF2 activation, she has literally not even had practically a migraine since, definitely not been hospitalized. And it's just such a gift. It's been such a gift.
Because the root of all evil is inflammation.
Right? It's so true.
And so I think that it's clear that we have some questions coming in the comments, and I think that we can maybe generally answer all the questions is no matter what you're dealing with. Let me just ask you what you've heard about inflammation tonight. And now you know that there's something that can activate and combat the inflammation. Wouldn't it be fair to say, do you think the thing that you're dealing with would be better if you had higher inflammation or lower inflammation? Right? To me, it just makes common sense when once we know, whether you're healthy or not, man, you're better off without it, without that inflammation. Let's get rid of it as much as we can, right?
Yep. I mean, honestly, Shauna, very easy for everybody. If you're not feeling well, that just says that your body is in a state of dis-ease. It is not in balance. So if you can just help it get back in balance again, chances are you're probably going to start feeling better. So if you have asthma, if you have allergy, if you have eczema, if you have whatever you have going on, chances are you're going to feel better because your body has less of an assault. Your body has more of a chance to do really what it wants. And, before we leave everyone, I also want to share is, this technology is simple, but yet this is like the most amazing thing in the whole wide world, but ultimately simple. But as the company was really realizing that, the other part is everybody sometimes, yes, it is physical fatigue. And yes, we have cellular, issues within our body leading to not feeling well. But many of us, no matter what age, who we are, often might have a little bit of times that our brain is just not quite clicking. Our brain, we're talking about brain health right now, you guys, right? So who's had a moment they feel brain fog? They can't remember. They're not clear. You can't focus. You're having difficulty concentrating. I mean, call it whatever it is. And you can certainly say like, oh, I didn't sleep well. Oh, this, oh, that. Of course we can. But in general, what happens is the brain is craving connection of the messages. And so most people today go reach for like another cup of coffee, a soda, a Starbucks, a 5-hour energy. I mean, something for a pick-me-up. But really our brain's not craving caffeine and sugar. Our brain is craving the nutrients to function, to work. And so there is nerve 2 activation specifically targeted for the brain to make all of the connections, just make it simple, you guys, the neurotransmitters talk to each other. So you feel focused again, you feel in flow again, your performance is better. You can just see clear, you just feel better, your mood is better, right? And Heidi's son saw that. She shared examples. Her son saw that. So it's not just like drink this drink for energy, it's drink this drink for brain health. And so if you can pair protandem nerve 2 activation and take the supplement for every cell with Axio, which is nerve 2 specifically targeted for brain function, honestly, you're going to feel hands down incredible. Oh my gosh, Shauna's like on it, right? Her and I are speaking the same language together. I could say that every single person, and right now we're not talking about wellness and immunity. We're talking about health and balance and brain health, is every single person. I can literally probably bet you $1 million. I won't, you guys. But if you put this in your body, this activation and energy stack, taking one a day, the Protandim Nerve 2, drinking one of these drinks, this is like Miracle Grow for your brain. There is nothing else like it on the market that can actually allow your brain to connect and feel this focused and flow. I mean, Shauna, I don't know what else you want to say about it, but it is the staple in our family, because who doesn't want a better mood? Who doesn't want more energy? Who doesn't want to feel great? Who wants to feel flow in the day? I mean, everyone, right?
For sure. For sure. Like, guys, this right here, this combination is changing people's world. And there's so much more to talk about, honestly. But if you are dealing with anything that Kelly had talked about tonight, or any of just the fogginess, but even inflammation as a whole, this is an incredible stack to look at and start with. I'm here to tell you that it's probably going to change your life, whether you're healthy or not. I was healthy when I got started. I didn't realize I wasn't sleeping well until I started sleeping good, right? Just like Kelly said, it had everything to do with inflammation, and activation changed everything for so many of us. And like I said, my doctors reached out to me. Kelly is brilliant doctor. That's why doctors are attracted to this. There's so much science to back all of this up, but we don't have time to talk to you about all of it tonight. So here's what I would advise you to do. I'm so happy that you were here, and I'm so happy that you listened. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, Heidi, once again, for sharing your brilliant stories and your mind with us, Kelly. But guys, get back to the person who invited you tonight to find out specifically what's going to be best for you, but to get started on your activation journey right away. And don't forget to ask them why they got involved in the first place, because it's important probably you hear their story. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. And yes, I just had some questions in the chat. This call was recorded, and if you got on late, you can certainly request that recording. So thank you all so much.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Kelly.
Pleasure.